Syed Alvi will be our first one to give us a speech, so please give a warm welcome to Maaz.
If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Class of 2025, good morning! Who's excited for the student speeches we have today? Before I begin, I'd like to express our gratitude to all of the teachers and staff who have assisted us in overcoming challenges, achieving milestones, and making school enjoyable for over the past 10 years. Thank you to my parents for pushing me in school and to the kids that have made school a home for us. This speech is especially dedicated to my mother who is watching us from heaven. Because I was elected president of Student Council, I've been asked to give this speech. I'm humbled to be given this extra homework, and I want to emphasize that while receiving prizes and honors are wonderful, they do not define a person. Their morals and values do. We've made it to 8th grade, and now the doors to high school are welcoming us. And today we'll reminisce about our middle school memories, and I'll leave you with some inspiring words. We were confronted by many questions in 6th grade. Do I fit in? Is the work going to be hard? Do I have a decent appearance? For the Spanish students, the major question was, who has Senora Babson dressed up as today? Frida Kahlo or Salvador Dali? We were all anxious whether or not the imposing 7th and 8th grade kids would like us. I'll apologize to all the English teachers in advance, but the 96 minutes of double English were dreadful. The agony will forever be etched in our minds. For many of us, 6th grade was a joy as we reveled middle school life and being instilled with essential principles. Mrs. Rice, my social studies teacher at the time, showed us that hard work and effort may be rewarded in life. When we listened and put in our best efforts, we got to relax and watch a movie. When we listened and put on our best efforts, I loved to be with my friends and enjoy the class. And when we graduate from high school and university and get our diplomas and degrees, I hope someone will be there to show us a movie. We all remember the color games, don't we? Not to be mistaken with the Hunger Games. It is a competition of students to receive points to participating with our friends and in challenges during PE class. And our coaches taught us that competing healthily with our peers make us happy and everyone will win. We were taught to respect others despite their athletic ability and to include everyone in our teams. All the rumors were true. 7th grade was substantially more difficult than 6th grade. Yet we devised strategies to study and review notes while the teachers handed out our tests. Through cell division and projects and observations under the microscope, science enhanced students' imagination and our interests. In late December of that year, COVID-19 was first recorded, and no one could have predicted what would happen next in our lives. We were discussing whether or not school would be canceled for a few weeks or a few days. In Mrs. Raymond's fabulous F block on March 12th, 2020. The following day, school was canceled, and the majority of kids were ecstatic that there would not be any school for 2 to 3 weeks. We were able to read books, watch movies, and play video games for which we never had the time. Nevertheless, remote school began, and we quickly became tired of lounging at home. Over the past year, we learned to budget our time properly and to not take things for granted. We strengthened bonds with our family and our friends. The class of 2025 has a growth mindset. We have resilience. We are loyal to our friends, and don't forget, we're all attractive and gorgeous. Shout out to my friend Ronan Richards. Standing here on this podium and giving this speech, I represent the people of our class. I asked my fellow graduates to describe their middle school experience. Some people felt lost in finding their purpose in middle school. Another person said it was a scary experience. And being away from friends in 7th grade was upsetting. And for most of us, 7th grade was definitely not what we expected. Look to your left and your right. We survived two of the hardest things in our lives so far: a pandemic and middle school acne. The attitudes and innovation of our generation make me excited to see the upcoming changes in our world. Remember and live by Gandhi's words: be the change you want to see in the world. With what we learned, we'll bring the lessons and morals that were taught to PE class and English class together to high school and beyond. We must let the teachers know how eager we are to use the vertex formula x equals minus b over ta. We are anxious to use Shakespearean insults we learned in English class and explain the steps of cell division like how most adults do daily. Surely listening to a 14-year-old boy pontificating about life isn't in your biggest interest, but please refrain from posting your Instagram stories and Snapchats for a few more seconds. I'd like to share a quote that makes me live my life to the fullest with curiosity. An 18th century Urdu poet from the city of Taj Mahal, Mirza Ghalib said, "बाज़ चाय अतफाल है, दुनिया मेरे आगे, होता है शब-रोज़ तमाशा मेरे आगे." The world is a children's playground ahead of me. Every day there is a theater enacted before me. We must remember, we live in a wonderful world. We only have a fixed amount of time on this planet. Make it worthwhile. We should always keep bright smiles on our faces. In the words of Louis Armstrong, I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you everyone, and have a great summer.